What's up, internet friends? Nate and Lyle here from MTNTOUGH. Today we're going to go over our top 5 tips to improve your backpack game this fall. Tip number 1, this one seems super obvious, but I feel it's really important, so that is know your gear. Just like a good rifle or a good bow, you're going to spend some time with it, you're going to sight it in, you're going to understand how that works before you go in the field. And that's the same for a backpack. So a backpack is going to have, most of them are going to have some type of load shelf, some way to carry gear or meat in and out of the field. It's imperative that you spend a little time with your backpack, know how you use those things, because there's a 50-50 chance that you might be loading this thing with various meat and things. After you are successful, you're going to be tired, you're going to be fatigued. So not understanding your gear, it's just going to add to that kind of mental anguish out there, and you don't need to do that. So tip number 1, just know your gear. All right, tip number 2 is ensure that you have your waist belt properly installed. We see this a lot. Guys have their backpack too high or too low, but essentially if you draw a line straight through the middle of your waist belt, give me a little turn here, Nate. You will see that we want to rest the middle of his belt right on the top of his hips. So that's going to give you a super comfortable ride. It's going to make sure that the weight is up on your hips. Again, we want the majority of that weight on your hips. That's going to help support and get you through those hills and those angles. The other thing is make sure you have a waist belt that fits you properly. So having one that's too large, it's going to prevent you from being able to buckle your waist belt in the middle there. So if you get it tightened too much, you don't have enough webbing, you're not going to be able to actually get that up on your hips. And then don't have one that's too small, so one that doesn't wrap fully around your waist. So this one, you can see, comes nicely around the front of Nate's hips here. It's going to be a nice, comfortable carry when he has weight in it. Tip number 3. That is make sure you understand and know how to use your load lifters and have a good fit on your shoulder strap. So if Nate turns to the side right here, basically this is going to be slightly different for every backpack, but you're looking for the same fit. So if you're running a Mystery Ranch, a Stone Glacier, an EXO, you want to make sure that you have full contact of this shoulder strap up and over your shoulder. That's going to make sure the weight is evenly distributed across your back. Oftentimes we'll see this, I see it all the time on the internet, guys will have a big gap right here where you can actually slide your hand in, and you don't want to do that. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the front of your shoulders, going to give you a lot of fatigue out there. You're going to get really tired and you're going to be really uncomfortable when you do that. So make sure you have good point of contact all the way over. Your load lifters, make sure that those are just taut when you're just hiking in, just with your gear. So like 30-40 pounds, you don't want to over tighten those, because that will actually pull the shoulder strap up off of your shoulder. In this run right here, we have a 65-pound sandbag, and so you can see that Nate has a nice fit, good even fit. Feel like you can hike around a little bit in that, Nate? Yep, so Nate feels good. So make sure load lifters and shoulder straps. When you do get your heavy load, that's when you can go on ahead and suck those load lifters down pretty tight, and that's gonna help just pull that weight up on top of your shoulders. All right, tip number 4, and that is make sure that you understand and load the weight of your backpack correctly. So if Nate turns sideways, you can see this backpack has a built-in load shelf. Again, a lot of the backpacks on the market are going to have that as well. You know, the suggestion is to put the heaviest part of the load right against your back. So if you're hauling out meat or gear, make sure that those things are up against your back. That's going to give you the most comfortable load, but it's also going to give you the best center of gravity. The next thing to consider is, like, even when you're loading your backpack, so the stuff that goes inside your bag, maybe you're on your last load, you're packing out camp, you got to bring all your gear with you, put the heavier things up against your back, because the more weight you put out here behind you, the more it's going to pull against you. It's going to cause more fatigue, and you're just generally going to get more tired on your way out. So have a good understanding of how you load your backpack. You know, if you do have your water or things in there that you have to get access to, make sure that you put those in a spot where you're not having to tear all your bag apart to find something in there. But biggest thing, yeah, get that weight right up against your backpack. And again, understand how to use your load shelf in your system. And our last tip, number 5, that is one of my personal favorites. When you got your backpack all loaded up with heavy gear, the one thing I like to do is make sure that all of the backpack straps are generally pretty loose before you go to try to put it on. Basically what's going to happen is this backpack has kind of changed its fit with all this extra weight in it. And if you have your shoulder straps tightened down really tight, maybe your waist belt is really tight, you end up kind of fighting it. And again, like, you're wasting energy when you fight to put it on. So if Nate puts this on, he's going to have most of his straps pretty loose. So you can see he can easily get his shoulder strap right on. He's not having to fight that. Waist belt is nice and loose. Again, when we buckle, we like to start from the bottom up. So you're going to start with your waist belt, followed by your shoulder straps. So get those guys kind of tight. And then your chest strap. And then the last piece will be your load lifters as well. So again, having this loose just allows you to get in and out of the backpack a lot easier. I've definitely seen some guys out there struggling to try to get a shoulder strap on because they just didn't make it loose enough. So those are our 5 tips to hopefully help you get a little bit more out of your backpack this season. Obviously, if you have any questions, we're happy to help.